So I will start with a slide with the name of a speech plus my name and the company that I currently work for. It's CodeBeat, is like a dev tool for developers. Now you can find me on Twitter. Australia. It all started with an email from Australia. One of clients was from there. Like, I work at 10 Clouds, and we got this project where we had to do a development plus the design, and the app was really huge and complicated. And as usual, we thought maybe we will like get a brief and digest it somehow and then throw up the specification and do something. But this time it was something more challenging, so we decided to send their account manager plus UX. So you may wonder why UX, why not the product manager or project manager, someone who will like do something about the business of the app, like understand it, set the scope and so on. This was a kind of an experiment, and it was a success. So client loved it, we loved it, developers loved the output of the work. The designer not only do his job, like he prepared personas, do the contextual inquiry and so on. He also do the stuff that usually is done by project managers. He did like the scoping. He did like write down the user stories and so on. Like, he did all the things that we expect that PM like usually do. And it was like the level of success was that big that the client promised the designer house and wife in Australia. Like, she really fall in love in this designer. But is it really this way that if we give the power, like designers are only waiting to get the power of PM, and giving this power would like explode with a lot of success stories of the app that is like really good design? I think not, because in my opinion, the design is a mess. Like, the design as an industry currently is a mess. Like, we have so many roles, so many skills. Like the thing that makes it even more complex is that some of designers say that we are all designers. What does it mean? Like, it makes it even more confusing. And in my opinion, design is something more than output that we get from UI designer, more than the output that we get from UX designer. And from UX designer, we get mockups, we get personas and so on. It's something more. Like, the design as a mindset is something, is this grit of finding the solution to the problem. First understand the problem and then find the solution. It sounds familiar because this is what most of the project managers do. Like, you have we have a common field here. And design is also a bit of, it's confusing because it's about a sum of small details. Like, those small details in separate, they don't really matter, but if we sum them up, it's really a thing. Apple do it all the time. Like, yeah. So how to get this fair dust and how to make the design work? Like, who are the designers and so on? So to make design work, we need to have a culture. We have to need the people, and we need to have right processes. The culture. So first of all, we need to believe that there is a value there. If we don't believe, if we treat designers as a mock-up monkeys, ones that deliver beautiful design, but when it gets to implementation, it's really, really hard, and we are really, really mad at those designers. So we need to create a field for an experiment for those designers, because like as I mentioned, I believe that true design is an experimentation. It's trying things, it's testing those things, and like do it over and over again. And we need to have an openness. I believe that like most of the culture lack openness. Like we are not open for a critique, and it is a critical thing to be able to say that this is wrong. We need to fix it. Like no, let's try it this way. Like in combine with a like small lab, like short period of time during the week for experimentation for a designer, this may result amazing things. So the people. So when I was a head of design, I was looking in designers a grit, this thing that makes the humbleness and willingness to learn. Like if designer have those two, like he will get to the point with the skills that is acceptable and it is good. Like design is much more than output. Like sometimes it doesn't need to be beautiful to make it work. And those are skills that I believe designers need to master, and it's not always the case. No, because designers need to have the output. How are they doing? They are not designing for themselves, and we need to like get. Okay, I've mentioned something about the trust, but we need to get people that we can trust. So we need to be accurate about picking the right people and get them on the board. The processes. Sounds familiar, yeah. So again, the design it's not about designing. It's not about the output. It's more of a process, and this can be an additional step between like doing things. You can use the skills like prototyping, like user research, to get the insights just before the developing. So it all may sound blurry, but if you think about how you can improve, how you can implement design, the simple thing is by doing those small things like adding Google Analytics. Like we often don't. We start with a project. There are really huge teams of developers, really a lot of money invested there, but no analytics, no feedback in it. Yeah. So to sum up, I would like to encourage you to go to Australia, to try to give a chance to designer, like give him a tool that he can use to add the value. Because I believe that that design, without implementing it, have no value at all. And again, like product people and designers have really a lot of in common. And yeah, think about it. Thank you.